One more. Should be here. The feet should be high. That's enough. Thank you so much. Oh, where are my glasses? Oh, here. Feeling dark. Prabhuji, maybe you can sing Jai Radha Madhava.
I can sing, but you sing.
Oh, I can sing, okay, but I'm not singing so nice. Okay. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gope Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Madhava ki Jai. So we are reading, as always, from the Transcendental Diary, Travels with His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, August 1976 till October 1976, written by Hari Shauri Dasa, who was for years the personal servant of Srila Prabhupada. So I don't know what it means. Okay. So Shri Vrindavana Dhama. I go a bit back to see the end of the previous passage. Srila Prabhupada said, that is quite natural. When Krishna was born, from the day of his birth, the demons wanted to kill him in so many ways, but practically it was found that demons were killed by Krishna, and he established his mission, Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya Glanir Bhavati Bharata. Abhyutha nan adharmasya tadatma nam shriyam yaham. So if he works sincerely, the Krishna consciousness movement is not different from Krishna. As Krishna killed all the demons, we should also be able to kill all demons if we remain faithful in the discharge of our mission. Can they close because it's some noise? Shukadeva Prabhu sent a short letter from Hawaii. He inquired what to do about the Panchatattva deities, which are made of paper mache. He said the bottom of the deities' stands are now looking very ragged. Papier mache. Although they have plans to build a new temple and install new deities, that will not happen for some time. He wondered whether they should attempt to repair the existing of deities or leave them. He asked, what are the guidelines to know whether we should repair the deities so that it is not done on our whim, whimsically? I have not heard of any standard throughout our society. Srila Prabhupada declined to involve himself and told Shukadeva that Guru Kripa Swami, who left here this morning, was on his way to there. He said that whatever he advised should be done. So I am not so much right. I have to comment Srila Prabhupada's words myself. So I am trying not to comment myself, but it is so evident from this text that devotees, Sri Sri Vijay Gauranga Dayanita Ki Jai, that his disciples, they didn't want to decide anything, especially concerning the very important steps themselves. They asked him about everything. And that means how respectful they were to Srila Prabhupada, how they wanted to follow his steps. And that Srila Prabhupada, the deities were made of papier-mâché. You see our deities? Yes, they're made of marmor. Maybe not the whole, but the pieces of marmor. But nevertheless, that is marmor. And those deities, they were made of papier-mâché. So much devotion, we can imagine, was put in these deities to make them of papier-mâché because they had no money, they had no possibilities to have their expensive deities. We are so much spoiled. In every temple, we have beautiful deities of ours in Germany, marmor or wood, or you remember Radhadesh, Galokatama, Gauradesh, yes. Yes, we can't imagine how to maybe worship the deities made of papier-mâché, and the bottom of the deities was already spoiled. Yes, so they didn't know what to do. And Srila Prabhupada said his agent, his disciple, to there to arrange the situation, because he found it very important. For Srila Prabhupada was everything important, because in our movement there are no details. So I will not say more, because it is not for me to speak on such high topics, but I can say willingly, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Now we are going to Srimad Bhagavatam. That is Canto 7, Part 5 and Text 15. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. It was wonderful text 14. It's a pity I'm not giving possibility to speak on text 14. So much about devotion in the previous text. But we're taking this text, what we have, text 15. Narada is speaking. Sri Narada is speaking. Sri Narada Vacha. Etavad Brahmanyakto ya Brahmanayokvam. Etavad Brahmanayokva Virarama Mahamatihi. Tam sanipharsya kupita. Sudino Raja Sevaka. Shri Narada Vacham. Etavad Brahmana Yoktvam. Viraramana Mahamatihi. Tam Sanibartsya Kupita. Sudino Raja Sevaka. Shri Narada Vacham. Etavad Brahmana Yoktvam. Virarama Mahamatihim. Tam Sanibartsya Kupitam. Sudino Raja Sevakam. Shri Narada Vacham. Etavad Brahmana Yoktvam. Virarama Mahamatihim. Tam Saniphatsya Kupitaha. Sudino Raja Sevakaha. Shri Narada Vacha. Etavad Brahmana Yoktvam. Virarama Mahamatihim. Tam Saniphatsya Kupitaha. Sudino Raja Sevakaha. Shri Narada Vacham. Yatavad brahmana yoktvam virarama mahamatihim tam sanibhatsya kupitam sudino raja sevakaha. Mataji? Read. Shri Narada Vacham Yatavad Brahmana Yoktvam Virarama Mahamatim Tam Sanibharsya Kupitaha Sudina Raja Sevakaha. Thank you, very nice. So now we are reading the worldly translation made by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada. Shri Narada Uvacha. Shri Narada Uvacha. Narada Muni said, Etavat, this much, Brahmanaya, unto the Brahmanas, the sons of Shukracharya, Uktva, speaking, Virarama, became silent, Mahamatihi, Prahlada Maharaja, who possessed great intelligence, Tam, him, Prahlada Maharaja, Sanibhartya, chastising very harshly, Kupitaha, being angry, Sudinaha, poor in thought, or very much aggrieved, Raja Sevakaha, the servants of King Hiranyakashipu. Translation made by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada. The great saint Narada Muni continued. The great soul, Prahlada Maharaja, became silent after saying this to his teachers, Shanda and Amarka, the seminal sons of Shukracharya. These so-called Brahmanas then became angry at him because they were servants of Hiranyakashipu. They were very sorry, and to chastise Prahlada Maharaja, they spoke as follows. Purport of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The word Shukra means semen. The sons of Shukracharya were Brahmanas by birthright, but an actual Brahmana is one who possesses the Brahmanical qualities. The Brahmanas, Shanda and Tamarka, being seminal sons of Shukracharya, did not actually possess real Brahmanical qualifications, for they engaged as servants of Hiranyakashipu. An actual Brahmana is very much satisfied to see anyone, not to speak of his disciple, become a devotee of Lord Krishna. Such Brahmanas are meant to satisfy the Supreme Master. A Brahmana is strictly prohibited from becoming a servant of anyone else, for that is the business of dogs and Shudras. A dog must satisfy his master, but a Brahmana does not have to satisfy anyone. He is simply meant to satisfy Krishna. Anukulyena Krishna nushilanam bhakti ruchyate utama. That is the real qualification of a Brahmana, because Shanda and Amarka were seminal Brahmanas and had become servants of such a master as Hiranyakashipu. They unnecessarily wanted to chastise Prahlada Maharaj. Shri Narada Vacham Etavad Brahmana Yoktvam Virarama Mahamatihi Tam Sanibhatsya Kupita Sudino Raja Sevakaham. The great saint Narada Muni continued. The great soul Prahlada Maharaja became silent after saying this to his teachers, Shanda and Amarka, the seminal sons of Shukracharya. These so-called Brahmanas then became angry at him because they were servants of Hiranyakashipu. They were very sorry, And to chastise Prahlada Maharaj, they spoke as follows. So that is a continuation of the story between Hiranyakashipu and Narada Muni. Hiranyakashipu's very great wish to take revenge for his brother Hiranyaksha, who was killed by demigods. And Hiranyakashipu's family, I mean his son Prahlada Maharaj, born in demoniac family, but he was the real and pure devotee of Krishna, and he was going to school, and it was the demoniac school. And what can we learn in the demoniac schools? The same thing what now the children can learn in European, not only European, demoniac schools. We don't have gurukulas here in Europe. We don't have gurukulas maybe in Russia, one or two. We don't have the schools where the children can be educated in the spiritual way to understand what it means to serve. They understand different things, mathematics, I don't know, geometry, history, chemistry, different things. They have even religious lessons to know something about religion, because that should be a part of the culture, but that is not combined together. The part of the culture, they are not involved in the culture. They are involved only into the shape of the culture, or cultures, or customs, or traditions. They don't understand their mission. They don't understand their nature. And without understanding their nature, they can't develop naturally, logically. They can't be the whole or the full human beings possessing natural qualities given to us by Krishna. That's why, certainly, Hiranyakashipu asked his son, "What did you learn at school?" And we know the story. He was absolutely outrageous when he heard the answer of his son Prahlada Maharaj. He wanted him to be a great demon, yeah. But it was not certainly possible because of the story, previous story of Prahlada Maharaj, and because of his devotion he has got. And that's why Hiranyakashipu, being a father, a father who wanted to kill his son, and not only kill, to give him different tortures, different pains, so much he was outrageous. The demons, they can't endure their devotion. The demons, they can't understand the qualities of brahmanas. We'll speak about this now. The demons, they can't understand the variety of Krishna's energies, and they can't understand the Krishna as a person, the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a person. And that's why Srila Prabhupada was speaking so much about Mayavadis, because they also didn't want to accept Krishna as a person. Because as a person, Krishna, then we should serve him, because that is the highest person, the supreme person, and our nature, our natural wish, it's not the wish coming of being made or being pushed to serve him, is to serve him, yes? And they are somehow very intelligent persons, certainly they are educated persons, but about the service to Krishna, not only about learning the shastras, not only to be a jnani, that sometimes very na to karma Kandis, spiritualists. So they didn't accept it. And that's why Srila Prabhupada gives very much attention to this question, to this part of our spiritual development. And here it is said that there is great difference between the Brahmanas who has got this Brahmanical title, Brahmanical passport with all the information in it, without being really a Brahmana. That's why Srila Prabhupada also, to change this opinion, this position in India, he stressed very much that Brahmanas are Brahmanas not by birth, but by their qualities. Qualities, Brahmanical qualities, that is what we are getting. We are, we are getting from the devotional service. That's what we should have. That's what we should be. Because without Brahmanical qualities, we can't be developed on the spiritual way. When we are not developed on the spiritual way, we will be never able to understand our Swarup, our right identification, our Jivera Swarupahaya Krishnera Nitya Das, because our natural position is to be a servant of Krishna. Because we have this, we're in the middle. So that is Tatasha Shakti, in the middle. So spiritual, material, we are in the middle. That's why we have a very, fragile, we have a boxes sometimes. We get the boxes with glass inside. It is written fragile, so it can be broken. That's why our human natural position can be broken if we are not being developed spiritually to come to our natural position as a servant of God. This spiritual diary is written by Hari Shauri, the personal servant of Srila Prabhupada. And when he began to serve him, he immediately went to the shop, I don't know, kiosk shop, it doesn't matter, and he bought a notebook to write every day of the activities of Srila Prabhupada. Yes, it was his natural position. It was his natural svabhava. It was his natural inclination to be with Srila Prabhupada and to give us this information, these six volumes, maybe not the last 6 volumes, of Srila Prabhupada's pastimes. And that means the natural position of a devotee. He didn't know how to give message to Srila Prabhupada. He didn't learn it, but Harikesh put him into this position willingly or unwillingly, it doesn't matter for us. Yes, but Srila Prabhupada wanted him to be his servant, Hari Shauri. And he did everything to have him as a servant. And he was learning. And he was very excited. And he didn't know what to do. Yes, but he was learning it, and he did it. And Srila Prabhupada was very satisfied. And one day he had socks, 2 pairs of socks, warm socks, and he wanted to give Srila Prabhupada these warm socks to make his feet warm. That was his natural wish, devotional wish. And he gave Srila Prabhupada even the socks he was already wearing. Yes, it was very confusing. And Srila Prabhupada, I don't remember, he didn't take these socks, but he took the second, I think it was 2 pairs, the second pair of new socks of him, and was very, is it correct? Was very grateful to him. Yes, and that's what we are learning in this Krishna consciousness movement. how to give. I was listening to the lectures of Srila Prabhupada, and in one of his lectures to Bhagavad Gita, to the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he said that to his disciples, to his young disciples, he said that we should utilize everything for Krishna. That means bhakti. So that means we should give everything to Krishna. And that is our natural position. Here in this book, it's a very nice book, 26 Qualities of a Devotee. It is written something about this. It is written about surrender, what it means to give. Surrender to Krishna is also not difficult to understand or to execute. According to Lord Chaitanya, a person has 4 things he can surrender: his life, his wealth, his intelligence, and his words. Complete surrender is to give one's whole life. If someone can't do that, then he can at least give some of his wealth or intelligence or words. Studying Bhagavad Gita is surrender of one's intelligence to Krishna. Speaking something favorable about Krishna is surrender of words. We cannot surrender unless we are free of pride. Surrender begins by surrendering to the spiritual master, as Arjuna did. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. Bali Maharaja surrendered everything to Krishna. Then, when there was nothing left, still Krishna was asking for more. Bali said, please, therefore, place your 3rd lotus footstep on my head. Bhaktivinoda Thakur surrendered his body, his mind, his family, his home. He said he would live simply as an attendant for all these properties of Krishna, his Sharanagati. Surrender means to give everything to Krishna with no consideration to reward, Trinadapi, Sunichana. To surrender wealth and other possessions does not mean to reject them, not to reject, but rather to live in Krishna consciousness and use everything in the Lord's service, Rupa Goswami. The greatest surrender of all was that of the gopis, who risked social opinions, social ruin and the dangers of the forest at night, and who gave Krishna all their love and affection. They gave Krishna their minds and always thought of him, even after he had left Vrindavana. Krishna, Book Volume 1, Krishna's hiding from the gopis. Surrender to the Guru is unconditional. My Guru Maharaj gave me a task, and always I was discouraged by my god brothers, but I did not forget him, even for a moment. And I was determined to follow my duty. Letter from Srila Prabhupada, November the 5th, 1972. Krishna rewards us according to our surrender to him, Bhagavad Gita 4:12. One who knows how to surrender unto the Supreme Person attains the eternal kingdom, Bhagavad Gita 15:5. Surrender means to rise early, bathe, and go to Mangala Arati, even when you lack spontaneous love to do it. The nectar of devotion. Surrender is to follow all the rules, even the small ones. Srila Prabhupada. We're coming back to the text. So the Brahmanas are meant to satisfy the Supreme Master. the Brahmana is strictly prohibited from becoming a servant of anyone else, like a dog or a Shudra. So he simply meant to satisfy Krishna. No kulyena Krishna no shilanam bhaktir utama. Yeah, not jnana, not karma. It's very important jnana. It's very important to know karma. But here it's just a categorical, so to say, very categorical statement that anukulyena Krishnanu. Anukulyena means to satisfy, to make pleased. It is nothing more, it is nothing something unbelievable, something cosmic, something blah, 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 I don't know. Esoteric as well, but not now, yes? So anukulyena means to please Krishna, but not only Krishna, to please his devotees as well, too. It is said in Bhakti Rasamrita, in the certain nectar of devotion. Yes, and what it means to please, we have parampara on the altar. Krishnanu means to follow the rules, to follow the this knowledge, these laws, because we are in the religious spiritual system. It's a system, it is hierarchy, it is etiquette. We follow the acharyas through parampara, sadhu, shastra, guru. We don't decide ourselves, we don't speak ourselves. And if we are not doing this, then we are having less and less of inclination to speculation, of doing mistakes, of being the cheaters, and our senses are getting more and more purified. That means they are getting more and more perfect. That's what I can say. And that is the real qualification of Brahmana. Brahminican qualification, they're described in Bhagavad Gita 18:42. Sama, Damas, Saucham, Kshantir, Tapa, Ashtikyam, Jnana, Vigyana, Archavan, Brahma, Karma, Svabhava, Gyan. These are the qualities of Brahmana. Sama means peacefulness. Damas means Damas means Damas means
Self-control.
Self-control, certainly. Yeah, Tapa means austerities. Saucham means purity. Kshantir means tolerance. And Ashtikyam means honesty. And Jnana means knowledge. And Vijnana means realized knowledge. And Archavan means religiosity. These are Svabhava Jam. These are natural qualities of Brahmana, without any dependence of being born in Brahmana family or not. And with these Brahmanical qualities, when we develop them, and we have all the instruction how to do it. Bhagavad Gita is full of instructions, and we only should learn it and follow the instructions of Guru and the senior devotees. That's all. And this can, because these Brahmanas, born in the family of Brahmanas, thinking they are Brahmanas, yes, but they are not real Brahmanas, as it's written here. They are so much in different designations, titles, false identifications. That's why I don't want to be very categorical, but what is written here, they are considered, Srila Prabhupada writes, they are considered to be not real Brahmanas. I only repeat what he says. Yes, because all these Sarva Upadi Vinirmuktam, all these designations, and that is also a designation, a very great designation, I am from the Brahminican family, I am a Brahmana. Yes. Sarvapadi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam. They are hindrances. They are the obstacles on our way to Krishna. Hrishikena Hrishikesha Sevanam Bhaktir Uchyate. So if we understand that our senses are to be belonged to the master of the senses, we ask him, we ask Lord Nrsimhadev, we ask him to protect us. To protect means not to protect and save that we can go on doing different bad things. You protect me, I go to the church, I give 100 euros, I'm protected. That's false prayaschita. Yes, next day I can do again all these bad things. Yes, but to give the senses means to utilize our senses, means to utilize all our past and maybe present deeds in this service. In this service, in thinking about Krishna all the time, in willing to serve Krishna 24 hours a day, and feeling I should serve the devotees to make them pleased, not to make myself pleased. That means feeling to devotees, to give everything to them. It is not easy, certainly, because we got used to serve ourselves, not to serve, but to develop ourselves, and all the time to enjoy. In the street, while distributing books, I see so much many poor people who are so much absolutely mentally crazy. They are diseased, they are ill in all these shining enjoyments. There are no enjoyment. Material world is real, it is existent, but it is temporary. You are flying from one place to the other. Yes, you are here, then you are there, flying somewhere in the universe. Yes, it is not permanent, it is not stable, it is not absolutely not reliable. But they take these enjoyments more and more and more and more, making our poor mother, Bhumi, more and more exhausted. More and more exhausted. And we are distributing the books and opening the temples only with one aim: to propagate, to preach the teachings of the previous acharyas, the teachings of Bhagavad Gita translated by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada, the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam, the descriptions of all Brahmanical qualities, that is Srimad Bhagavatam, all relationships based on the Brahmanical and Vaishnava qualities, certainly, as well. Yes, and Chaitanya Charitamrita, to understand what it means to love God. I am not so far, I'm not so high, but I can say that I like it very much. I like this way, and I'm trying to do everything what I can. So that's what I wanted to say, because I have something prepared for something more today. So the qualities utilized for Krishna, That means it is such a simple statement. Yes, certainly we should explain everything. We should not give the lectures only to give statements, to read from this, to read from that. I know this. But these statements shocked me very positively. Utilize everything for Krishna, that means bhakti. We are on the way of bhakti. We are practicing bhakti. That's why we should utilize everything for bhakti. That is our job, spiritual job, spiritual work. That is what we are doing here. That's why we are here. So now I want to come to, I'm sorry, I didn't say one mantra. I'm sorry, I was a bit excited. If you allow, I say it now. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnana-jala Shalakayam Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtai Bhutageshni Mati Bhaktivedanta Swaminithi Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Rishishunivadi Paschatya Desha Tarini. Please forgive me. So today is Dvadashi Vamanadev appearance day and appearance day of Srila Jiva Goswami. So we can't compare Vamanadev with Srila Jiva Goswami, but there is both personalities. We are not allowed to compare, but there is both personalities are very great. So I have prepared something to read about Vamanadev because it's so important. And not only important, it is really very beautiful as well. That is ISKCON, how to say, source. The incarnation of Lord Vamanadeva holds a pivotal place in the Srimad Bhagavatam, a big place. Appearing in the 8th canto, chapters 18 from 18 to 22, this divine pastime reveals the Lord's plan to restore cosmic order by incarnating as a humble dwarf, brahmachari, to vanquish the pride of Bali Maharaja. As we approach Vamana Dvadashi, devotees commemorate this event by fasting and engaging in special prayers and services. Lord Vamanadeva, though appearing in a diminutive form, in a tiny form, displays his vast power and grace by reclaiming the universe, all while teaching profound lessons on humility, surrender, and devotion. Reason behind Vamana's appearance. The background of Lord Vamana's incarnation is intertwined with the welfare of the demigods and the cosmic balance. Bali Maharaja, a descendant of the great devotee Prahlada Maharaja, he is the grandson of Bali Maharaja. Bali Maharaja is his grandfather. He had gained immense power and domination over the universe, causing distress to Indra and the other demigods. Despite his virtuous qualities, Bali's increasing influence threatened to upend the established order. I will not say details, yes, because we are speaking now about this appearance day. Aditi, the mother of the demigods, sought the Lord's intervention to protect her sons and return their rightful domination. She performed the Payavrata, a righteous penance, as instructed by her husband Kashyapa Muni. Her deep devotion pleased Lord Krishna, who incarnated as her son Vamana. He incarnated himself as her son Vamana, promising to help the demigods regain their position. Not only because of her, but because of demigods to regain their position, he incarnated him as Vamana, Vamanadeva. Thus, the Lord appeared not just to defeat Bali Maharaja, but to restore harmony and uphold righteousness. From Bhagavad Gita we know the Lord is coming. The Lord is coming to punish the miscreants, the demons, and to establish their religiosity in the world. And every his incarnation is done with this aim. Every his incarnation shows us the aim of him. So the Vamanadeva pastimes teach us profound lessons in humility, devotion, and surrender. It illustrates how the Lord intervenes not to punish, but to uplift and glorify his devotees. The actual pastime of Vamanadeva is as profound as it is visually captivating. The scene is set during a grand yagya sacrifice organized by Bali Maharaja. Vamanadeva, disguised as a dwarf brahmachari, very sweet, very small brahmachari, entered the sacrificial arena. His divine effulgence immediately captivated all present, including the sages, Bali Maharaj, and even the demigods. Vamanadeva requested three pieces of land. He asked for 3 pieces of land, a seemingly humble and insignificant request. However, as soon as Bali Maharaj granted the request, the Lord expanded his form to cover the entire universe. So the small, very tiny dwarf, he began to grow to his gigantic form, expanding very, very greatly. And with his first step, he covered the entire universe. Small dwarf can't do it, yes? And with his second step, he covered the heavens. And the Lord then asked Bali where he should place his third step, as there was no more land to cover. And to say one more thing, Vamanadeva is called Urukrama. That means one whose steps are glorious. All his steps were glorious. Yes, so at this moment when there was no space more, Bali Maharaj realized the divine nature of Vamanadeva. Because he was told by his Shukracharya, by his spiritual master, not to do anything with him, because he, Shukracharya, understood the nature of Vamanadeva, that he will take everything, would take everything from him, and yet if he would have taken, and he did, if he took everything from him, then what could be left for material opulences? What could be left for Shukracharya? And that's why he didn't want Bali Maharaj to give anything to Vamanadeva. At this moment, Bali Maharaj realized the divine nature of Vamanadeva, and without hesitation, because he was very good disciple of his spiritual master. We should follow our spiritual master's instruction. We shouldn't break them. But in this case, this is an exceptional case. When he saw the Vamanadeva as Krishna himself, he couldn't break his instructions, and he wanted to give him everything. And to give the lesson to his spiritual master as well, too. Krishna wanted it. Yes, he realized the divine nature of Vamanadeva, and without hesitation offered his own head for the Lord's third step. So he stepped on his head. It was very dangerous. It could kill him. He gave his life at one moment when he saw that Krishna is before him. We're reading about this in this book. That's everything connected. This act symbolized Bali Maharaja's complete surrender, Atmanivedanam, to the Lord, demonstrating his unwavering devotion. And unwavering devotion means no doubt. Never doubt, never doubtful. Doesn't matter what happens, doesn't matter what my Vadis are saying. Yes, and even sometimes what his Guru Maharaj was saying. Bali Maharaj was tested not just in his role as a king. He was tested, but in his capacity as a devotee. Listen, please. Despite being warned by his spiritual master Shukracharya to retract his promise, Bali chose to honor his word. In doing so, he passed the ultimate test of devotion, surrendering everything to the Supreme Lord, not only officially, not only sometimes we can not break the rule, but to avoid somehow, some diplomatic, in some just playing the chess, in some diplomatic way to avoid sometimes some rules or some instructions, yes, to surrender fully to Krishna. Gopis, yes, they left their husbands, yes, who they were. Material persons can say something not so complimentary because of surrendering love to him. So despite being warned by his spiritual master to retreat his promise, Bali chose to honor his word. In doing so, he passed the ultimate test of devotion, surrendering everything to the Supreme Lord, even at the cost of his kingdom and material possessions. Shukracharya wanted to have these material possessions, but Bali Maharaj has given everything to Krishna. This act of surrender reflects the highest level of devotion and sacrifice. Instead of clinging to his material wealth and position, Bali Maharaj chose to offer everything to the Lord, including himself. His willingness to offer his head for the Lord's third step exemplifies the surrender that Lord Krishna seeks from his devotees, full and unconditional. Ahaitu твои. Yes? Nathanam, Nachanam, Nasundarim, Kavitam va Jagatisha Kamaye. Mama Janmani Janman Ishwari. Bhagavad Bhaktir, Ahaitu твои. Ahaitu ki means with motivation. Ahaitu ki means with no motivation. So qualities exhibited by Bali Maharaj connected to the qualities. Yes. Throughout this time, Bali Maharaj displayed several key qualities that highlight his greatness as a devotee. Magnanimosity. We have Lord Chaitanya, who was showing his being magnanimous to his disciples, to every soul, to his close associates. Too, it was his generosity to give them the possibility to be his associates. Yes, not about, yes, and that these are the qualities we should gain. We don't have them. We should gain, we should get these qualities. First, generosity. Bali Maharaja's charitable nature is evident when he hesitatingly agrees to Vamanadeva's request for 3 pieces of land, despite knowing that it might mean losing everything. The second is generosity. The second, surrender. By offering his head to the Lord's third step, I would like maybe. Bali demonstrates the highest level of surrender, showing that nothing, not even one's life, should be withheld from the Lord, that we should give our life. The third is devotional integrity, to be involved absolutely fully. Integrity, absolutely fully in devotional service. The Vamanadeva pastime, integrity. Despite his spiritual master's advice, to deny Vamanadeva's request, Bali Maharaja chose to maintain his vow, demonstrating his unwavering faith in the Lord. The fourth, humility. So it was generosity, surrender, devotional integrity, humility. Bali Maharaja's humility in surrendering to the Lord, even after losing his kingdom, is a lesson for all devotees. Significance of this pastime. The Vamanadeva pastime teaches us profound lessons in humility, devotion, and surrender. It illustrates how the Lord intervenes not to punish, but to uplift and glorify his devotees. In this case, Bali Maharaja, despite losing his kingdom, he gained the Lord's eternal protection, and he got the kingdom he needed years later, and was blessed with the opportunity to serve him eternally. This underscores the point that material losses are insignificant when compared to spiritual gains. Either material losses or spiritual gains. It is simple to understand, and that is not difficult. We want spiritual gains, and we can lose the material possessions. That's what there is very much to speak about this. Yes, but it's enough now, I think so. Because Vamanadeva, his actions, while appearing to cause the conflict, were ultimately aimed at resolving it on a higher spiritual platform. When we solve or resolve the conflicts on the spiritual platform, then the both sides taking part of the conflicts should be satisfied. That means the spiritual platform. No, it can be spoken so much about Ramanadev, yes, and his pastimes and his relationships. But if we see what is happening in the world, the political situation, the situation sometimes with devotees, situation in the families, situation in these material relationships that kill the people, that kill the souls. Material world kills the soul. It's not my word, certainly. Yes, the killer of the worlds, these material senses, this material eating, sleeping, sexing, and defending. The killers of this soul. Yes, if we understand it, we go on. We go on serving, we go on preaching, we go on asking Krishna for more and more possibilities to give us, to go through different tapasyas, to go through, to be resolute, Drita Vrataha, to be resolute, to go on. So, I'm sorry, I have one more thing to say, because today's Jiva Goswami is very short, I'm sorry. Jiva Goswamis, we go now to this, because we can't leave it without speaking anything about Srila Jiva Goswami, who has written more than 25 works, who has written many commentaries to Brihad Bhagavata, to the Nectar of Devotion, who has written the different treatises that is consequent systematic, consequent systematic descriptions like Sandarbhas. Yes, who have given so many commentaries, who was speaking so much about grammar. I have a small book, Sanskrit, very small book, Grammar Sanskrit by Srila Jiva Goswami, and his rhetoric, his poetry, his rhetoric, and his poetry, that is all more, maybe it can be. Yes, so something about him, some words. The greatest scholar and philosopher. He was the youngest of the six Goswamis and prominent in laying out the philosophical foundations of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. And his father, Anupama, Second. No, I should be consequent. In the Science of Self-Realization, His Divine Grace, S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada declares, Jiva Goswami was the greatest scholar and philosopher in the world. In the purport to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila 10.85, Srila Prabhupada writes, that's about after the disappearance of Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami in Vrindavana, Srila Jiva Goswami became the Acharya of all the Vaishnavas in Bengal, Orissa, and the rest of the world. And it is he who used to guide them in their devotional service. In Vrindavana, he established the Radha Damatara temple. I know maybe you saw this temple. I have been also to this temple. He established this temple where after retirement, we had the opportunity to live from, where after retirement, we had the opportunity to live from 1962 till 1965. Srila Prabhupada, what was some mistake here? Srila Prabhupada was living in Srila Damodara, in the Radha Damodara temple for years, from 62 till 65. When we decided to come to the United States, he decided to come to the United States of America, yes. He was sitting there looking through the window at that Radha Damodara temple, writing his works, translating, writing his commentaries, and being always with these Goswamis together. Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Sanatana Goswami were his uncles, and their younger brother Anupama was his father. There are different opinions of this. I am reading what I have found from ISKCON source. Yes, he was his father. Because the appearance day of Srila Jiva Goswami is not so established so much, but it was the second middle part of the 14th century. So it is said. Srila Jiva was the youngest of the six Goswamis and the last to make Vrindavan his home. Consequently, he is not mentioned in any of the early biographies of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Not much is spoken about him. And this may contribute to the discrepancies in different documents regarding the dates of his birth and departure. He is, however, glorified in a number of verses in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and especially in the Bhakti Ratnakara by Narahari Chakravarti Thakur. Just a little bit more, if you allow some minutes. The year of his birth is something about 1513, and no, that's not. Srila Jiva Goswami's father Anupama left this world on the banks of the Ganges in the 1514 as he was traveling through Bengali to Puri. It is said that this was so devastating for the infant Jiva that even at such a young age, it initiated his determination to renounce this world, to follow a path of spiritual learning and praxis. Throughout his childhood, he studied the scriptures with complete focus and was very fond of reading Srimad Bhagavatam. He declared a strong desire to visit Navadvip, the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whom Jiva knew was Lord Sri Krishna himself. I something more only, very, very little. He was very determined to go to Navadvip, and he got, that's according to Vedic culture, he should get, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also got the allowance of his mother Sachi to go on traveling, and the same also Jiva Goswami should also do, and he gained the allowance of his mother. He made an excuse for why he needed to travel in that direction. His visit is described in Bhakti Thakur Navadvip-Dhama Mahatmya. There he met Nityananda Prabhu. From Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's follows except as Lord Balarama. Nityananda Prabhu escorted the young Jiva around the many glorious places of Navadvip, of course, including the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as well as the nearby house of Srivasa Thakur and the temple of Jagannatha Mishra, Lord Chaitanya's father. Nityananda Prabhu advised Jiva to travel to Varanasi, a center of learning, to study before continuing to Vrindavana, just like a spiritual master of him, before doing something serious, before traveling. So we should have profound knowledge. Consciously, we should know why we do this or that. This he did. In Varanasi, he quickly established a reputation as a great scholar and philosopher, despite his young age. From there, he traveled to Vrindavan to join his uncles, arriving in 1535. He was very clever, and just like Lord Chaitanya, he defeated I have no time, a personal scholar who was trying to, to propagate his teachings, but for Srila Jiva Goswami, because he was a very learned person and very devoted person, it was not so difficult to defeat him. What else can I say? So I ask now our Pandit, Anupama Krishna Dasa, if possible, we have some minutes. Could you please say some words about Srila Jiva Goswami? Because you know it certainly, for sure, without reading from internet.
When I learned in my Guru, we were studying Bhagavatam 12 cantos. And in my studies, it turned out that 80% of Prabhupada's purports are from the Satsandarbhas of Jiva Goswami. And about 20% only of Jiva Goswami's Satsandarbhas are not found in Prabhupada books. So as I was studying it, I took those 20% as extra notes for them.
You hear? You hear? Understand? Can you? Okay, I'm sorry.
So he's like, only the thing is, the way Prabhupada presents Jiva Goswami is a very sweet way. Because if you read the Satsandarbhas, there are anuchedyas. Anuchedya means small sections. Right. And he's quoting left and right in scriptures, establishing very strongly the points. It starts with Tatsa Sandarbha, is the first one, Tatsa Sandarbha, and it goes into, I think Tatsa Sandarbha, you get Paramatma Sandarbha, you get Krishna Sandarbha, like that, goes on and on, deeper and deeper and deeper. First, it starts with establishing the scripture, so nobody can deny his scholarship, that he knows scripture. And then it goes gradually into the more meditative states. Because from Jnana you enter into Paramatma state, from Paramatma state you go to relationship with Krishna, finally ends into this Priti Sandarbha. It is full, it's like a 10th canto. It's kind of pastimes and the gopis and things like that. It's all founded on these Sandarbhas. Then there's a seventh one, Krama Sandarbha, which he wrote, in which he describes in which order Krishna's realizations are gained by devotees. First comes Nam, then qualities, then comes the form, and like that, Krama Sandarbha. That one I haven't read yet because it wasn't available when I was in my guru. I got it now, but I really don't have the time to study. I studied 6 Sandarbhas, and it is very profound. If you would just study that, you capture Prabhupada's mood for about 80%. That's Sandarbha. So it's very interesting. Bhanu Swami is doing a great job now translating all these books which have come out. And I would say, like, next to Prabhupada, he's the one who gave us the most in society. All these books which Prabhupada wanted to give, that Prabhupada wanted to give Vedanta Sutra, he wanted to give Ramayana, he wanted to give Mahabharata, Vishnu Puran, all these books, but Prabhupada left. So like gradually, and he's doing a great, authoritative presentation on that. So in the mood of Jiva Goswami, he's one of the 6 Goswamis, and very dedicated to Rupa and Sanatana Goswami. And yes, I've been to Radha Damodar temple. 65 years Prabhupada stayed there? From 62 to 65
It is here.
I would doubt it.
Yeah,
Because Prabhupada, when he retired,
I should check.
took sannyas, he stayed there, and there he stayed many, many years till he got Sakshat Darshan of Rupa Goswami. He said that now you have translated the first canto, now you go to the West and start your mission.
Yeah, and he went.
Yes, it was directly Rupa Goswami appearing to him. Because that room.
I should check. It was also suspicious. I didn't have much time to check it because something about 5 years he was living there. But also I should check.
Yeah, when Prabhupada took sannyas, he went to Vrindavan. And anyway, when he stayed there.
They mean concrete in this temple.
Sorry?
They mean concrete in Radha Damodara temple, how much he was living.
Yeah, the two rooms are there.
Yeah,
one is the kitchen and one is Prabhupada's bedroom, basically. And there he was doing his japa and his meditation and everything. And also he was worshipping the deities there. One time complained that he said that because what happened when the acharyas were leaving gradually, their deities, they had to be taken care of. Like Rupa Goswami's deities have been taken care of by Goswami's now in that group. But the other deities of the Gauriyas, they were all brought to Radha Damodar. We have like six sets of deities of Radha Krishna there. And probably said that they can't even take care of the deities properly, and they bring more deities. So I had some insight or input in that place there. But if you go there, it's very nice. You go to Radha Damodar and you stay for some time in that room and just try to buy Prabhupada's mood. And what I sense there is all this spirit of renunciation along with a lot of burning desire to spread the mission. It's typical Prabhupada. If you go there, you feel like what his mood is. They have put a deity there, but if you touch the stones, the bed where Prabhupada was sleeping, you know there is an inner flame of Prabhupada wanting to do something which you don't see in others' samadhis, because there's samadhi of Jiva Goswami is also there. So his body is there, and the Gauradesh Goswami is also there, and one other, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. These three are there in the same Radha Damodar temple, so their bodies is there. The other acharyas, Vishwanath Chakravarti.
Yeah, I was in the samadhi. I was cleaning this even.
A little bit further on in the same road.
Yeah.
There is a Radha Govinda temple.
No, that is Krishna.
Not Gopinath.
Krishna.
And there you have many samadhis. Vishwanath Chakravarti is there.
Yes. Lokanath.
Lokanath Goswami is there.
Yes.
So it's all nearby.
I was cleaning these samadhis.
That serene, that calmness, that peace which the Gauriya acharyas have, because if you look at the Sri Sampradaya, everything is very richly, very externally, very rich, like gems and this and that. The deities are different. But in the Gauriyas, it's very simple. If you look at the way deities are made, there are no ornaments. You have to give the ornaments, you have to dress them like that. So because the inner moon is more important in our life than the external moon. So like that.
Time. Okay. Thank you very much. Anupama Krishna Das, he is giving lectures every day, every morning and sometimes evening here in our temple. Yes, and we are very, very thankful to you. What seminar? On Saturday is seminar, etiquette, Vaishnava etiquette. Very simple. Prabhu told me that he will be giving, so to say, the very simple ABC, how to say, knowledge about it. But they are basic knowledge. They are very, very important. So please, it will be translated.
It's in English, but the thing is,
Переводиться будет, я спрашиваю сейчас.
you need a systematic training. It's not just you hear something and then
It is translating, will translate into Russian, no?
Yeah, anybody can translate.
Translator.
Anybody wants to translate, they can translate.
Nobody can translate. I can translate in Russian. But you are speaking so very quick, but it's later. Yes? If the Russians are coming, I don't know.
Well,
I can translate.
We're trying to print some books, which is in English. If you have the book with you, you can easily translate.
That is perfect.
That's why I'm correcting the spelling now.
That is perfect. Translate. So, приходите, пожалуйста, это очень важно, и он очень хорошо дает. Очень хорошо. Очень важный семинар. So, into Russian I can translate, but I don't know when. I can translate. So I want to say only thank you so much for being so tolerant with me. Yes, I didn't have much time, only yesterday evening, I got to know that I'm giving the lecture yesterday, and I used this opportunity. I didn't say no. No. Yeah, it was risky, but I didn't say no, so I prepared what I could. Yes, I hope it was a bit, maybe just very little, one piece, practically useful for you. Practically useful for you and has changed maybe one klein atom of spirituality in your heart. But without Mahamantra, we never finish the lectures. So Mahamantra is our Mahamantra is given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to us. That is his magnanimity, difficult word. His greatest mercy, generosity, humility, integrity, determination, all these qualities. That's why he has given us his compassion. The very important quality of a Vaishnava. It is not in Brahmanic qualities, it is not written, but it is naturally. These qualities, Brahmanical qualities, they naturally lead to the quality of being compassionate to every spiritual soul. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. I don't hear Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The third time, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki. That is not a very good place to sit with a bit of back to the deities. Somehow it's not so becoming.
What happened for you? Was passiert für dich? Ranujan.
Keine Bremse.
Mit dem Fahrrad, oder? Mit dem Fahrrad.
No, another
Woche war ich in Urlaub. Was passiert für dich?
Спасибо, Lilamrita.
Приходите в субботу, пожалуйста, он действительно очень полезные вещи говорит, очень. Говорит иногда слишком быстро, но можешь попросить его говорить помедленнее. Он очень образованный, в высшей степени образованнейший вайшнав.
Постараюсь.
Ой. Джон. I'm sorry, because I have something. Что-то не